Hello and welcome. I'm Bruce. This is Speed and Color. Well, the Bad Livin Roadshow was freaking awesome. What a great show. I met so many wonderful people. We were treated so well down there. Just had a really good time. Lee Sipes did a great job of organizing the show, and the Frontier Ghost Town, I believe they call it, just a perfect setting. The campground was great. Everything was really good. And a highlight for me was meeting the three young men that you're gonna get to meet in this episode. These guys, man, they just, in a time when there seems to be way too many young men living in their parents' basements, playing on their Xboxes, and going to the shopping mall in their pajama pants. These guys are just a breath of fresh air, and they give me hope that really there is a future for custom motorcycles, especially choppers. That this culture will carry on, and it just kind of gave me a whole new outlook, or not a new outlook, but a renewed outlook on things in general. These young men, they're getting an education. A couple of them are in trades. They're respectful, they're intelligent, they're articulate. These guys are just nice young men who are enjoying their passion that they've found. They're enjoying riding, they're enjoying building. They've really embraced this culture of choppers. They are, like I say, respectful. They totally look up to all of the older guys that they're meeting in the culture and in the community, and they appreciate everything that gets done for them. Appreciation is another thing that came through. These guys truly appreciate being a part of the scene and being involved. And I thought it was awesome. I think these guys are awesome. I'm not going to tell you what they do that's different. That'll all come out in the episode. I just want to say, gentlemen, you did a great job. I really appreciate you. And to the parents of these three, and there's more guys and gals in the group, and I certainly don't want to pass over them. But for the three guys that we talked to here in the episode, to their parents, I didn't get to meet you, I don't know you, but I want to tell you, I think you've done a wonderful job with these young men. Like I say, very encouraging, very exciting, and the adventures, the camaraderie, all of that stuff. I just wish them all the best. I think it's going to be great. So, you know what? If you've got a few minutes, sit down with us. I think you'll get a real kick out of these guys. I think you'll like to see what they're riding and building, and hear about their antics and everything. And once again, to Lee Sipes, great job of bringing everybody together at the Bad Livin Roadshow. And you know what? Queen Street Moto, Lee Sipes, I'll see you again next year for sure. All right, enjoy the episode. Thanks for joining us. See you soon. Here we are at the Bad Livin Roadshow. Man, oh man, what an event. This is just crazy. And forgive us, the music in the background may be a bit much, but we're going to try and work through that. We are at a live event, live venue here. I don't think we should have too many people walking in behind us, but you never know. But certainly the noise is going to be a bit of an issue for us, but we'll do our best. I am here today with Queen Street Moto. is the name of the group, and I have 3 of the individuals here with me. What we're going to do is we're going to have a casual conversation, talk to these guys, find out what Queen Street Moto is about, find out what the deal is, find out what they think about Bad Livin, and the whole custom motorcycle culture scene in, well, I guess, southern Ontario. I will say up front, the reason I was very interested in talking to these guys, they're a little bit out of the norm. They do metric choppers. They're all riding metric stuff. And you know, the world is not made of Harleys. There's lots of Harleys in the world, but it's not made of Harleys. And I think it's cool that these guys ride other stuff. So we're gonna take a look at the bikes here after we have a conversation. And yeah, we'll get to know them, their bikes, the scene here, and find out what's going on. So I'm going to start by asking each of you to introduce yourself, do a little spiel on who you are, why you're here, what got you into bikes, what you do for a living, all that kind of stuff. So. Why don't we start with you, young man? Because you were so eager. You were the first guy over here sitting in a chair saying, I can start early if you want. So go ahead.
Well, my name's Andy. I'm a millwright and do my 2nd year of apprenticeship this year. I got another year left and I'm graduating. And then when I'm a certified millwright, all my money's just dumped into motorcycles. That'll be it. Just bikes.
So a millwright, who do you work for?
Linamar.
Okay.
Got Linamar SM manufacturer.
And doing what? Because millwright covers a pretty broad scope.
Yeah, we like, if a machine breaks down, I gotta go down, like, fix it. I gotta go like hydraulic tanks, like,
okay,
like other things like that. Like big, like cooling tanks and stuff like that. And I weld the bottoms or whatever together, making parts and stuff like that. I have a really good time doing that. And I got my Skyjack license, my forklift license. So,
right.
If you see how I am on the bike, you wouldn't trust me back doing a forklift now. No way. I wouldn't trust I don't trust myself on.
And you do some welding?
Yeah, I do welding too, yeah.
And do you, with the group, do you guys kind of cross over? If somebody needs some welding done, do you help out?
Yeah,
kind of a deal?
I made the exhaust pipes for my bike. Those are custom for me. I made up. So I wanted sweet up seats because last year I crashed my bike and I broke my wrist. And my exhaust pipes kind of got messed up. And then we made some like weird up-sleeve fishtails and wrapped. Wrapped didn't look too good on it, but then I chopped them and I made short shotgun fishtails. And then I'm like, okay, no, I'm gonna do long up-sleeve. So then came up so I like how they just like go like they kind of like both do like a nice 90 at the bottom and shoot up like 45.
So you're the fabricator in the group. Okay, cool. You, my friend.
Yes. So my name is Jeff. I'm 20 years old, and I do electrical. I'm an electrical apprentice. So I've done a little bit of everything, like industrial, commercial, residential. But right now, I just do a lot of service work. So if someone needs lighting or bathroom fans, just like basic stuff, basic little stuff.
Cool.
Yeah, in my spare time, I pretty much use all my free time on motorcycles.
What got you into bikes?
So I've always been a gearhead. I started out with cars. I still love them to death. It's one of my favorite things on the planet. I always knew I was going to get a motorcycle at some point. I didn't know it was going to be this early in my life. I thought I'd maybe do it down the road. But Andy, when I got my first car, Andy got his first bike. So we kind of, reversed there.
Okay.
And then I guess I broke my arm. I had some time off. And I ended up going to Friday the 13th with him in Port Dover a couple years ago.
Oh, okay.
And I drove my truck down there because I didn't ride at the time, and he rode his bike there. And the moment I got there, I realized I had to do this. It was just amazing. I'd never seen anything like it. And I didn't think I would go as far as this in terms of like customization and stuff like that. I just knew I had to start riding. And then once my arm healed up a couple months later, my mom taught me how to ride her big cruiser. So I started out with that. And then not too long after that, I got my first bike.
Nice.
Had to start off from there.
Cool.
Yeah.
And I meant to ask, where do you live?
So I live in Milton, Ontario.
You're in Milton?
Yeah.
Rockwood.
You're in Rockwood. Okay. Mike?
Hey, I'm Mike. I'm 24. I work at a pallet and a mulch factory. I drive an excavator. I just like crush wood and load up trucks all day. It's pretty chill. I went to school in Peterborough. I'm a business administration graduate, looking for job in that field. But in this time it's been a little harder. But maybe I'll figure something out. But I started Queen Street 2020, just like it was COVID, so I was just like, I had this bike and I was like, man, I want to make like I didn't have any Instagram or nothing, so I was like, I'm gonna make an Instagram for my bike. My girlfriend was like, do it, and I was like, okay. And then I had it for like 2 years, just like posting little mods I did to my bike. And then I went to Freedom Machine. My buddies that I went to Freedom Machine with, they ended up going to a cottage, and I was like, I'm not going to a cottage. I took this weekend off to hang out with bikers. And then I met these two little guys, and we were the youngest guys here, and we were like, oh, we got so rowdy that night. And once we realized that we were all like within 45 minutes of each other, we realized we're gonna be best friends for forever, man. It was awesome.
Right. Cool. So where does the name Queen Street come from? What's the deal?
I live in Cambridge, in Hespeler, Cambridge is split up into 3 towns, and I live in Hespeler, and Queen Street is like the main downtown area, and that's kind of like where me and my neighbor used to walk there barefoot, go get ice cream. It's just like where we grew up.
Right.
And I live just off Queen Street down the road a little bit, so I just figured, I can't call it, I just had a nice ring to it, I don't know.
There you go.
And I just wanted to keep it kind of local. Maybe I'll open up a shop on Queen Street one day, something like Perth County Moto or something like that, like a little shop.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's neat. So you guys mentioned Freedom. So this event, tell me more, because I don't know a lot about the history. And, we all know Lee, and I haven't told you guys, but what happened is last year in June, Karen and I came out, and we were going to Stratford, and we drove past Shakespeare, and they had that Dice magazine deal on at the Shakespeare Brewing Company.
I was there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I stopped there, we met Jeff, we met some other people, didn't think much of it. I was getting ready to start the podcast at that time, hadn't done one yet. And when I got home, this guy, Lee Sipes, reaches out to me and says, man, I'm sorry I missed you at the DICE event. I'd like to connect with you and stuff. So we connected. He told me what he was planning. And I told him I was planning the podcast and everything. So you've all listened or watched the podcast with Lee. We got things together, and he let me know I was an invited builder for the event, and I said to Karen, well, we can't not go now. We gotta be there. So that's my connection to Lee. That's how we met. But what about you guys? You met Lee at Freedom?
I met Lee like 2 weeks before the very last Freedom Machine, and he's the one that told me. He's like, hey, you guys, he was like leaning up on my bike, he's all cool. He looks like just like a big cool biker guy, and he's like, you guys should come to my event next weekend, or 2 weeks from now. And we're like, oh, hell yeah, man. So that's how I met him, and then we saw him at the show, and then we just kept going to events, and we just, see him more and more, and we just kind of, hey, Lee. Going to events.
We ended up meeting, so you kind of knew Lee from that.
Yeah.
And then me and Andy started to build more of a relationship with Lee, because he, last summer, he doesn't do it anymore, but last summer he, every Tuesday, would put together an event called Two Wheel Tuesdays in Kitchener. Yeah. And it was just like a nice, simple bike night, so we would go as much as we could. And that's kind of how we grew our relationship with him and got to know the event that we're at right now.
So the last Freedom show was what year?
2022.
It was 22.
Yeah, I think it was 2 years ago. Yeah.
So last year there was nothing, and now we've got Bad Livin.
Yeah.
So what's your impressions of Bad Livin?
It's definitely really cool. I feel like if you listen to like any type of rock and roll, and just like being trashy and being like super cool at the same time. I think it's like the perfect event stuff to do that. Like there's a haircut place going on. Like I was here yesterday, and I saw somebody getting his haircut. I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna shag him up right now, and I just went out there and I got my haircut. That's how I got stuff with hair.
You're kind of a spontaneous guy, aren't you, Andy? Yeah, I get that impression. Yeah, look at these guys are going, that's Andy, yeah. Cool. So what about you guys? What do you think of Bad Livin?
Honestly, it's the weather couldn't be better. It's a great weekend. I'd rather do nothing else. This is my vacation for me. I prefer this over, flying overseas or whatever.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't rather do anything else than just sit around and talk about motorcycles all day. It's awesome.
So tell me, what for you guys? Like, I was so impressed yesterday, taking a ride from Hanover around to Gray Road 25. Man, beautiful road, beautiful road. How are the roads for you guys getting up here? Are they pretty good?
It's hit or miss.
We did run into
It's hit or miss.
spot where there's traffic, other than that,
But they're smooth.
We seem to find all the bad
We're from
roads.
Ontario.
Yeah.
Like we kind of got used to how bumpy the roads are. So if it's not that bumpy, we're like, oh, that was a great road.
Driving through downtown Toronto is a nightmare. If you have a hardtail chopper, stay away from Toronto streets, please.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Or Guelph. Guelph is also terrible.
Yeah, well, they'll get
Right. Now, are you all on hardtails, or has somebody got hardtails?
The three of us are on hardtail.
You guys are hardcore, aren't you? Yeah? Right.
We tried.
So, the culture in this area, and again, that's part of what I was impressed with last year when we came out, is, I mean, the number of choppers and, just the whole scene seems really, really good. We've been to Friday the 13th several times. We're going to be there again in September. Love that event. It just seems to be a lot of cool stuff going on here. That's got to be part of what motivates you guys to be in this, is you just got so much to go to and do. What other events do you do?
Well, we recently did a road trip to New York City, not New York City, but went to New York.
Okay.
We just traveled back roads with our buddy Rob. He helped put my frame together and helped me with my bikes. I wanted to make my bike with the great guy. And he made a frame for him too.
This is 905 Rob?
Yeah.
The guy I got to meet? Yeah.
He's an absolute, he's our
Chopper daddy.
our mentor when it comes to our chopper daddy.
I love that.
He's like our sensei.
He's a great guy to talk to because he's done a lot of stuff. So every time we need framework, bits of advice, hey Rob, I'm thinking of doing this, or what's your take on this? He's a really good guy to talk to. He's our mentor.
And does he ride quite a bit with you?
Oh, yeah.
guys?
All the time. He rides way more than us.
Okay.
He rides everywhere.
And he's in the same vicinity as you guys?
Burlington,
Okay.
but not far at all.
Yeah.
Maybe like half an hour.
Yeah. Cool. Good.
We also, the other events we try to go to is Bike Night at Steeltown Garage. Catch us there 2 times on Thursdays.
And what's the name of that again?
Steeltown Garage. So it's a cafe.
And then also Perth County bike nights we like to go to.
Oh yeah.
And
Those Perth County bike nights are crazy, aren't they?
Yeah.
And what about the anniversary party? Do you guys do that one too, or?
I think we did that one this year, I think.
Did we do that?
Because I heard that Perth County anniversary thing. That's what in September, 1st or 2nd weekend of September. I've heard he gets big bike counts out for that.
Yeah. They had like a camera booth where you like stick your.
Oh, you went to that. We didn't go to that.
Well, I was there with you. I think I bought my Springer that day, dude.
Yeah, you.
Oh, yeah. I wasn't there for
That
that.
Springer, the top.
I missed that.
Bike.
But that was
$900 part I couldn't use.
Yeah, that was cool.
Bummer.
Yeah. Cool.
And then we also another trip we do is the Sega Beach.
Yeah. That's
Oh, yeah.
Our proof that like it's our.
It's like a 3 of us 3 years ago.
Yeah.
We have some annual trips we do. So like with Sega is kind of like our annual trip. We try to do every single year just for fun. We just pick a weekend and we go. It's just pretty spontaneous, and it's just for one night. Just get the let loose for a weekend.
We got all leathery on the beach. Go to the bar after. It's a fun night. And then
We got sand in our hair.
Make our way home.
Yeah.
And then another place you like to hang out too is Alora.
Laura, yeah.
Where?
Alora.
Aurora.
Really small town. It's just like 20 minutes from my house. It's really nice. It gets packed with a lot of tourists though. So that's the only part that kind of sucks about it. But Alora's a really nice town. Really good town.
Oh, that's cool. Good stuff.
Nice.
Hey, Lee, that's a 360 camera.
You gonna edit that in?
No.
Oh, why not?
Family friendly.
Oh, that's
That would
awesome.
start.
Now, Andy, you're planning a trip.
Yeah, I'm going.
Well,
to,
not planning. Sorry, you're the spontaneous guy.
Yeah.
You know you're going to take a trip, but you're
It is
not
already in
planning.
motion, man. I'm going to going all the way down to Algonquin Parks. Solo trip. I'm going for 8 days. I might go to Tollbury, take the ferry across, and keep pushing north and work my way all the way back down. Really sweet. There's a really cool Bad Livin Road diner that I might stop at too and see if I get my bike put inside and take some pictures of it. I like pretty sweet.
And how many days is that?
8 days, 7
days.
nights. I don't know where I'm gonna sleep. I'm just gonna pull off the side road, pitch my tent. That'll be it. That's all it'll be.
Nice. What about you guys? Any trips planned?
I mean, I'm pretty busy with work most of the time. I don't really have the luxury to take off a whole week, but whenever we can, we try to fit trips in. We've been trying to go on more camping trips with our buddy Rob, because he's definitely a lot more spontaneous and ballsy than we are, I think. Because our trips are like maybe 2 hours, but he'll go on like couple day-long trips. Last time we did the trip to New York State, we rode, which for him isn't that long, but it was a total like over 700-kilometer trip, which is the longest trip I think we've ever done, pretty much in one sitting for 2 days. But we've really been trying to get out more and do that with him when we can, because it's so much fun.
Right. Good stuff. And 905 Rob, what does he ride?
So 750 Ace.
2002.
What is that?
Yeah.
He's on a Honda. That's cool.
But it's all cut.
Yeah, we all ride
You
metrics.
wouldn't be able to tell it's on.
Yeah.
He's a metric guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you'll have to drag him over here later.
I'm sure we can. I'm sure we can find him.
Yeah. So what else? Anything else you guys want to tell me about the area, events, anything, or?
I don't think so, man.
We're just very happy that you even have us on here. Like this.
Yeah,
no,
it's amazing.
We
man.
appreciate this opportunity.
It's great. I love learning about the different areas, the different cultures
Yeah.
and stuff, and
Because we never know, we're like young, we're like pretty like I don't know, we're pretty young, so we never know really what those older guys.
Well, we usually stand out because of our age.
Stay in our own lane. It's just, you know.
stop bragging about being young, okay? You're pissing me off there. No, I'm kidding.
But
Well, you know what we should do is we should probably move all these chairs out of the way and bring one of the bikes in, and let's just stand around it and talk about the bike and stuff, and then we can kick it out and bring the next
I can
one
bring my bike in first.
Yeah.
Yeah. Andy,
Bring
you're
the prettiest
always
one in.
first, man. You're right on things here.
And you
Yeah,
know, before we do that, I actually got a question for you.
yeah, fire away.
So, what made you want to do interviews with motorcyclists? And especially
boy.
these types of motorcyclists too.
So, I'm friends with the editor of Inside Motorcycles magazine.
Okay.
I don't know if you've ever read it. It's really, Patrick, don't be offended. It's really not our kind of magazine. It's more sport bike, track, that kind of stuff. But I've known Patrick for quite a while, and I work for Honda Canada. That's how I got to meet Patrick. He came to me a couple years ago and he said, "You know what you need to do?" And I said, "What do I need to do?" And he said, "You need to do a podcast." And I thought he was out of his mind, right? So I started doing the research. I'm close to retirement. I knew I was going to have some time when I retired. I was kind of looking for something to do. Karen and I want to travel. So I thought, okay, how do I make this work? What do I do? And, you know, the one thing Patrick had told me, he said, you have a lot of experience around cars. I've done some drag racing. I'm still planning to do more. I've got an altered in the garage right now. You know, I've done the hot rod thing, bikes, obviously, I've been into. He said, you've got a real well-rounded experience and you've got some skill and stuff. And he said, a lot of guys I see on podcasts really don't have that. They're counting on the guests to know what to talk about. So he said, that's why I think you should do a podcast. So I looked into it and I thought, well, I already own a couple cameras and this might not be that tough. And I thought, what do I do it on? And the custom motorcycle culture is kind of a limited thing, but what's beautiful about it is it's focused for sponsors and people that might partner with you. So maybe I can't show 1 million views on YouTube, but I can show 10,000 views that are directly about a Harley Davidson Sportster. So if Mr. Marketing for a company, if your target demographic is men over 40 who own Harley Davidson Sportsters, I can put you in front of 10,000 of them. So thinking about it that way, I thought, yeah, maybe this can work. So I spent a little bit of money and we bought a tent and we bought some chairs and I started recording, and you guys will be episode 20 or 21, which in the podcasting world is real young. And hopefully I can come back and have you on episode 110 or something like that. But yeah, we're getting there, and I know the episodes are getting better. My editing's getting better. The topics are getting better. The guests are getting better. That's what I love about
Maybe we
this.
come back in like 15 or like 100 videos of yours.
Yeah.
Together or something.
Yeah. But I love this because I'm out of Calgary now, and I'm a long ways from Calgary.
Yeah.
So this has a whole new flavor and a whole new demographic to get to, right? And of course, the people I already have out west who follow will look at this and go, oh, that's cool, and it will be more interesting for them. So it's all good. And it's developing, and we travel and have fun, and we get to meet cool guys like you. And
this year we're going to be on these bikes, but we already have new bikes in motion. I got a Sportster 1200cc.
Oh, okay.
He's
Now
got a CB, and he's working on an A. So we have new bikes coming up that we'll be riding in a couple of years from now.
Okay, see,
different bikes.
We'll have to do this again, man.
Yeah.
this is where I wanted to go. Now this is news. You guys are telling me stuff that your friends will want to know too. So tell me about your new ride.
Yeah. Wait, pardon me?
Tell me about your new ride.
The my new ride. So I want to do a Goonie Steam motorcycle. I like making bikes that no one else has. But so it's gonna be pretty sweet. Like I want to paint, hey you guys, going down like the back of the fender and everything like that. And then I'll put like little gems and jewels going down the seat or something.
And this is a Harley.
Yeah, it's a Sportster.
So you're
1200
stepping out of the metric world.
Yeah, 'cause I actually, it was Mike's neighbor that I bought it off. And he comes up our driveway one day in February, and he's like, hey, I'm selling a Sportster, do you guys want to buy it? I'm like, yeah, let me see it, dude. He's like, how much can you sell it for? I'm like, he's like, $2,600.
Which is unheard of.
And it's got 28,000 kilometers on it. I'm like,
Nice.
Yeah. What year is it, Andy?
97.
97?
Yeah.
$2,600.
And then
For a Harley Sporty 1200.
and I had to hide it at Mike's house because I didn't want my parents to find out about it. So it was there for like a month or two, and I'm like, my parents like, where did all your money go? I'm like,
I don't know.
Maybe somebody stole it from me. I don't know.
Yeah.
You're probably so chill about all your money being gone. Your parents were like,
But now I gotta start saving for a car. I gotta do that before I start my sports. My car's gonna pay.
You know, I don't know. Well, you're a millwright.
Yeah.
You guys are all gearheads. I find the building is as much fun as the riding.
Oh yeah.
It really is, you know. And I've always been the same way about the race car. Yeah, I get a kick out of running the race car, but I get a kick out of having somebody else drive it while I wrench it, because I learn so much about the thing when I'm preparing it and watching it and seeing what it does on the starting line and everything else. I just love the mechanical part of it. Yeah, driving's a rush, but the mechanical thing is just a whole different satisfaction. So what's your new one gonna be?
So my new bike that I'm building currently, it's gonna take me a bit, but it's a 1981 CB 750F.
Okay.
So it's a little different than so stepping away from the V twins. It's this big inline four. It's something I've always wanted to do. I think it's definitely a bucket list bike for me. Just because I think you can make them look so rowdy.
Yeah.
And it's something that, you know, you're putting a sports bike engine into a Harley. And that's, you know, they've been doing that for a very long time too. From, you know, seeing all the Honda Digger choppers from the 70s and stuff. And that's something when I decided to get my CB 750F and shop it, I started looking into that a lot and getting really obsessed with it. Like just the overall styling and the funk that goes along with it. It's just, those bikes are just packed with personality. And it's something that I absolutely love doing. Building anything, whether it's small or, you know, super big, takes a lot of work. I love just making it your own, putting personality, making it an extension of yourself. So I'm doing all the work, all the man hours, all the fabrication, all the body work, because as grand as this build is gonna, at least I'm gonna try to make it pretty amazing. I have a you know, good vision for it. I'm also trying to make it a bit of a budget build because money doesn't grow on trees for me. So as much as I would love to buy everything and slap it on, I just don't have that luxury. But I think that's what I also like doing that too, is really trying to figure things out and try to make everything myself. So.
And Mike?
Well, for me, I got a 03 Honda Shadow Ace 750 that I took to Rob to throw in his jig, and he cut it in half and put it back together as like a hardtail.
Nice.
So it's a little bit different than Andy's bike, but it's same year and same engine, stuff like that. So, but mine's a little different. I got the single backbone going on it, or the round backbone going on it, because originally the Aces have like a rectangular backbone.
Oh, okay.
And then you can only get a tank from TJ Brutal Customs. So I asked Rob if I could do this round backbone. He said no problem. And I got a 90s Dyna front end that I'm gonna convert to fit on a Honda, and I'm gonna rake that out, or not rake it out, but probably step forward about 6 inches. And I'm gonna paint it all like a nice gloss black, and like the biggest, like as much sparkle as you can, so it looks like you're looking out at the night sky. And yeah, it's
the biggest flake you can shove through a gun.
The biggest flake you can fit in the gun, yeah. It's just gonna be like my clean build. My bike right now, like you guys can see it's pretty ratty. I built it when I was 19. I'm 24 now.
Yeah.
And you know, so I need to upgrade eventually. But I'm always busy building other. The guys will bring their bikes to my garage, and then I get sidetracked from my bike to other bikes. Like not these guys. These guys are pretty good. Jeff does everything himself.
That's right.
But you know, our other guys, they're always coming to me, Mike. We do something. I'm like, sure, man. I love doing it. It's no problem for me. But I always get sidetracked on my own bike, so it's taking me a little bit of time. Right. But, and also buying parts and stuff like that, yo.
Well,
you know,
stuff's expensive, man.
Yeah.
But I think also the reason why we kind of stick to metric choppers is it's also just really cheap. The bikes are cheap, and the versatility with them is pretty mind-blowing. You can get Harley parts and throw it on a Japanese bike, but you just can't really do the you know, vice versa. So I think that's what really sticks with us, is the versatility with them.
Well, just so you know, I've got 3 XS 650s. The first one I'm working on right now is going to be a cafe racer tracker sort of style. The second one I've got a Springer for, so it's going to be a hardtail chopper, you know, old school kind of thing. And I picked up a Kawasaki, a 75 H1, so a 500 two-stroke triple, because I just thought with climate change and everything else, a guy just needs to own one of those stinky, loud, obnoxious old bikes, right? And I don't know if you've ever seen who did that bike. FNA Choppers, I think, are the guys who built it. They did a Kawasaki triple, and they did it in a digger style.
Okay.
Oh man, is that a sweet bike. It is very cool. It's raked out a bit, but it's low. And I've always loved that bike, and they polished the motor. It's very, very cool. So first I got to get the triple running and get it all back together. And once I've got it through a safety and got it registered and insured, then I think it'll be time to chop it up, and I think it's going to be a digger. So yeah, that's what I'm working on.
Nice. Oh, sweet, man.
Cool.
Sweet.
All right.
Dipping your toes into the
What's that?
custom bike.
Yeah, we're gonna do that right now. Now that the band is taking a break, and we'll actually be able to hear each other.
Thank God.
So, Andy, let's start with what is this?
Okay.
What did it start out as? And then we'll talk about some of the changes you've made.
Well, so 2 years ago, I went down to Pacific Beach and I actually picked up this bike off an old. He was an older guy, or whatever. I still text him with the bike, like whenever I do modification, I send him a picture of the bike. And he wasn't the original owner; his buddy was, but he was a firefighter. He got like messed up in a fire, and they had like cuffs, or like I don't know if the cuffs. They probably. He couldn't like do his job anymore, let alone ride a motorcycle. So he sold the bike to me, and then me and my dad picked it up. It was an old man bike. It was just totally stock. It had the swing arm and everything like that.
I'm sorry, what kind of bike was it?
It was Shadow. Yeah, sorry.
I'm kidding you, man.
And then
It's okay. Carry on.
Hang on, someone's calling me. Stupid. This is terrible. I'm sorry. Yeah, so
You're losing money there, buddy.
yeah, so it was like had the old man bags on it. It was all red before, and then I brought it back home, and then I took it all apart. And Mom was like, "What did you do? You like broke it? Like it was like such a nice motorcycle before." And then I called Rob, and then Rob helped me out a lot. So Rob pretty much.
What year?
It's 2003.
2000, and you said 750?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then so Rob helped me out with like literally like the whole bike, because I wanted to make something that's like still reliable and it's not gonna like break me like the first try. And I also wanted something that was gonna turn heads, and this is pretty good at turning heads. So
Okay.
the front of the bike, I got
let's start.
it's a Sportster Springer front end. It's a 4-over, all chrome. And then I got a 21-inch front wheel. I think these are, I can't remember who makes these lights, but I got them off Jeff from Perth County Moto. It's got a double diamond headlights. My dad made this really cool aluminum headlight bracket here.
Nice.
And then Mike and all the guys, they pitch in some money, got these bars, custom made for me for my birthday.
Oh,
December.
cool.
And so my gas tank, I got done by a guy named Ron Gibbs. He's out in Burlington.
Mm-hmm.
So I spent way too much money in the tank alone. I kind of regret it, but like, it does look amazing. So he was really great making this black and white checkered 3D background of the tank.
Yeah.
And then all the flake that's on like her dress and on the writing and everything like that all the flake was blown on by hand. And then it got like 10 coats of clear coat on it. So I had them like polished up and everything real nice, but I'm gonna do that when I get back out there.
That's really nice work.
Yeah,
That's
he's really good artist.
That's very good.
And then my coolant reservoir is a Jack Daniels bottle. It was the first legal Jack Daniels bottle that I ever had, so I put that on my bike. And then it's got the long up sweeps on it too, that are also chrome. And then I got a suicide shift. So there's my shifter knob is an old Cruise Light beer tap that I found at a vintage store. I found a nut that fit the same thud pitch, and I would just weld it on the end of the stick, and I just made that my shifter.
Tell 'em about your pegs.
And then, my pegs are for a BMX bike. I picked those up at for $15 at Canadian Tire. So they're like nothing special, but like I used to ride bikes when I was younger, so like
Right.
I'll put BMX bike pegs on my bike. And then the hardtail was all stock. We dropped it 1.5 inches in the rear, and then with the spring we put it up 9 inches in the front.
Okay.
And then from stock right. So yeah, I had a really good time making this bike. Really good time.
Did 905 Rob do the hardtail?
Yes, he did. Yeah. He showed me kind of like
Because he's got a jig and everything, right?
Yeah.
But you did this one before the jig.
Yeah.
Oh, is that
That's
right?
why
This
I
was like the
scared
prototype, pretty much.
Yeah.
If he had the frame jig when I was making my bike, I would have done the round backbone too, in a heartbeat.
Because on this one, usually he redoes the backbone because it has the square backbone.
Yeah.
Now he has a jig and everything, so he redoes the whole, pretty much.
Basically,
I would say
you put the back
3/4 of the
in
bike. But for this bike, this was more of a prototype design, so he kept the backbone.
Cool.
Yeah.
And we kind of went over the tank quickly there, but just for people listening to the podcast, so the tank is a checkered flag sort of design for a base, and it has Marilyn Monroe. And is that all airbrushed?
Yeah, all airbrush.
Okay, so Marilyn Monroe airbrushed on the top surface on the right hand side, and on the left hand side it has Marilyn, I guess, in her signature. I'm
Yeah, I was just a
guessing,
picture
but-
fan off Google. I just saw
yeah,
that.
so it's probably supposed to be her signature, but it looks great. Real good. I love the Coca-Cola bottle cap for the choke
Yeah.
lever. That's cool. Yeah, that's great. Nothing done to the motor.
It's different jets in the car, but
Yeah.
it's velocity stacks. All it is. I think it's got 45 jets in it. Yeah. So that's it, man.
Good old Honda. Pretty solid design, huh? This kind of works.
You can't go wrong with
Yeah.
King and Queen.
Yeah.
I'll get mine out of here, and you can pull
Yeah, the King
Is that
Queen
it?
seat.
next.
And we've got a disc on the front
Yes,
and drum on the back.
Yeah.
Yes.
Stock drum brake in the back. I'm just gonna pull it around.
Sure.
Or you could, you could back it up.
Back it up.
Just back it right
And
up.
you're the guy with the cool helmet, okay?
Me? Oh.
Now when I see you guys, I always see that helmet when you guys go by, and I think,
The German
okay,
cap.
who is that? Now I know.
On the suicide
And
caps.
now everything makes sense, right? So, yeah.
Okay.
So what is this?
So this is my 2002 Yamaha V-Star 650 Custom. I mean, I bought it still probably, when I buy this, maybe a year and a half ago, I bought this bike. It was my first personally owned bike. The bike I learned on was my mom's, and I realized, because after coming here and meeting Mike at Freedom Machine, I realized I just had to get something that I could really put my hands on and kind of mess up a little bit. So anyways,
Starting at the front.
so at the front, I mean, this is all, not too much done. I just have extending the forks here. I have some 8-inch slugs. So that's just inserts. So
okay.
basically,
And they're at the top
yes.
of the fork.
So you pop off the little cap on the
Yeah.
top of the forks and on the top of the tube. And then you slide the tube down, and that threads into the existing tube.
That is cool.
And it basically fills that void. It extends it. And you can adjust them however you want. But I have mine maxed out because long front ends are dope.
Well, and it makes total sense the way it's put together here. You've
Yes.
got a triple tree holding the original fork.
Some would say it's still sketchy, but
It looks pretty solid to me.
Yeah, yeah.
To get any kind of movement in that joint would take a lot of stress on that front end. You'd have to.
yeah. Well, for a long time, so when I first did this, for a long time, I forgot to actually put the rubber seal in.
Okay.
So I just twisted it on, and for probably about maybe over a year, I was riding with fork fluid just leaking all over me. I would ride, and God forbid I was wearing anything, other than a black shirt. I have dots all over me. It was pretty bad. But then,
Now, is this raked at all?
so no, this is actually stock rake. I do get that a lot, but no, this is stock.
It's funny the way it works out, huh? It really is out there.
Well, when you extend the front end, it really kind of wakes up the front of this bike a bit. It's not so... Yeah, people, I always get that a lot. Did you extend the front end? And I always say, no, I didn't even touch it. I just extended the front end.
I love that. That is so cool.
Yeah, I like it a lot. I want to extend the front end more, but the problem is just the overall size of the stem. If I was going to get anything longer, like 10-inch slugs, it'd be past the triple tree, and that's just terrible to ride with
And
that.
it gets sketchy,
I couldn't even, there's no way I could do that.
Are these factory?
Yes, everything, the whole front end is factory.
Wow,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, so I really just cleaned it all up. The whole rim is factory. I just got some fresh meat for it. The tires, I like a nice solid tire. I think it's a Shinko on the front.
They look like Shinko.
I believe it's a Shinko. Yes,
That's what
yes, it is.
That's what I like run on the sporty.
They're good tires.
Yeah, I like them.
I got no problems with it. I like the size of them. I like a good meaty tire because I take this thing absolutely everywhere.
Right.
So Andy's tractor trailer on the front kind of scares me a little bit, especially how fast he takes corners. It's all stock, man.
Tool bag on the front.
So the funny thing about this tool bag, I was gonna get one originally because they're just super handy.
Yeah.
And I was picking up some parts. So when I was originally building this bike, because I bought it, rode it for a year, kind of customized it, just some cosmetics, but not anything too crazy. And then in the winter was really, my time. I took this thing apart all the way down to the motor. I didn't really know how to do anything, so I bought a climber manual, and whatever I had trouble with, I just looked at the climber book, and I had this thing all the way down to the bare frame. I pulled the motor and everything, but so. Anyways, when I was getting parts for the bike, the guy had a bunch of Harley stuff. He was like, "I'm getting rid of all my Harley stuff." He was a metric guy, and this was in there. He just gave me a bunch of stuff for free, turn signals and all that, and I got this sick bag for free.
Where did that come from?
So the headlight, I call this my Amazon bike. All the custom parts on here are from Amazon.
Or from
and if they're not from Amazon, it's because someone had an accident and gave it to me for free.
Okay.
So yeah, the headlight is from Amazon. The bag kind of blocks it, but I custom made the bracket here, the mount for the headlight.
Yeah.
It's it's a 10 mil wrench I bent kind of into like a half part. And then the other supporting side of that mount for the headlight is the monoshock wrench that comes with these bikes in the kit.
Okay.
Just chopped that in half and welded that on because I felt like it would fit nicely. And honestly, it's solid. The light would break before the bracket, so it's solid. Good. And that just bolts right onto the triple tree. And
that's a small light.
I like the smaller lights.
Yeah.
You could go a lot smaller. You see the guys with the little pan lights.
Right.
Yeah. Right. But no, I like it. You can swap the bulbs. It's super easy. It was a little on the cheaper side.
Cool. Tell me what the chain is about.
So these chains, purpose-wise, it's for when you turn. It's basically a steering stopper. But on this bike, it's purely, a cosmetic. It's purely cosmetic. It doesn't really do anything. I just like the way they look because it's kind of ratty, and I like the style, those little aesthetic pieces on there.
Engines, stock, no changes.
So it's just a stock 650 cc. The only thing I did was I put the jets in it because I completely took out the battery box. My vision with this bike was anything plastic that doesn't need to be there, I'm getting rid of. So all the plastics other than the battery box cover and the compartment cover over there, I left on there. I switched those up for chrome ones, but I took off all the plastics, and that included the battery box. So I run no filter, no nothing, and it runs like a dream.
Nice.
So I just rejetted the carb. That's pretty much all I've done.
Nice.
Yeah.
And the gas tank, original?
So the gas tank, I bought it with this paint. It is original, but sorry, the tank is original, but the paint was aftermarket. So this is an automotive teal or turquoise. People can argue with me about it all day, but yeah, I bought the bike with that kind of like 50s styling with the classic turquoise with the two-tone and then the silver pinstriping. I think it reminds me of like an old Bel Air.
Yeah, it is.
And I really fell in love with that paint when I bought the bike, because I saw Freedom Machine when I was here 2 years ago. I saw a Harley Sportster with that exact color combo, and I loved it. It was my favorite bike here.
Nice.
So
and then of course the Mexican blanket deal on the seat.
yeah, the matching. So I did that myself. Because when I was customizing this bike and I wanted to switch up the seat, I wanted something, kind of cool. Because before it just had like a regular brown leather one person seat on here, and that's kind of basic. I wanted to switch it up, so to kind of stick with the whole chopper theme, Mike, for $30, sold me his old. This was on his old bike, and when he first bought it, this old short kind of low cut Kings and Queens. Yeah. And I bought this. He already rewrapped it because it was beat to shit. That seat covered in duct tape. He already wrapped it. So I basically just got a matching Mexican blanket off Amazon, and I just rewrapped it myself. And I had a lot of fun doing it, and I could do a better job, but it was kind of just a quick and easy. I've never done it before.
It looks great. It matches the tank. Yeah. It's kind of cool.
I really like it. I think it matches the overall aesthetics of the bike. It is a horrendous seat to sit on. It is terrible. I would totally switch it out, except I love the seat too much, the way it looks. So I haven't switched it out yet. I think I'll just put up with it. Yeah, tough it out.
There you go.
I got a belt on here because that's what's holding it on. Not much more I can say about that.
And we're still running the drive shaft and.
Yep. I can't. Well, you can't convert these things, so it's drive shafts. I prefer chain, but you don't get everything you want. It's pretty low. I took out the monoshock, and I went with a dog bone, which is basically you make a filler for the monoshock.
Right.
So it's just a steel piece in there that replaces it, and I just measured it to about 2 inches shorter. So I extended the front end 8 inches, and I lowered the rear by 2.
Right.
So it again, that's why it looks way more pronounced in the front, I think, is because I gave it that super ranked look, low in the back, tall in the front. What else was I going to say? Yeah, it's just
cool.
Super ratty.
What else have we got on the other side?
A mess around bike.
Exhaust. Well, you got.
I have my little aesthetic bits. I've probably made 1 million. Well, I've gone through probably 4. That's my 4th sissy bar now, because I get bored, and this is kind of just something I do all the time. I just remake stuff. And
are those your turn signals down there?
Nope, those are my brake lights.
Brake lights.
Yeah, I don't have a turn signal. I don't have a horn. It's just chopper stuff, man.
And what else? Exhaust?
So the exhaust, I do switch up the exhaust quite often as well. I've had a lot of variations, and now I just kind of started messing around with making my own. So this is just the Canadian Tire Special. I have just some kind of like a short angle cut up sweeps. Nothing crazy, but it's simple, looks good, and it sounds awesome, I think.
Yeah.
So I like it.
We got the cool chain for the brake.
Yeah. So funny enough, I see that all the time, and I really like it. It's like a cool little aesthetic piece, adds to the rattiness of the bike, and it to the average person, it seems kind of scary.
And you still run hand clutch foot shifts?
Yes, so it's all normal. I did actually, I don't know if you noticed, I did weld on a heel toe shifter there.
Yes.
Because learning on a bigger cruiser bike, a 1300cc Honda, I did fall in love with the heel toe shifter because it just made everything a lot smoother. I didn't find I was jumping into neutral a lot.
Okay.
And I liked the motion of it. And for the fast shifting, it was great. Plus also, when I first started riding this bike, it just seemed to have a really long throw whenever I would lift my foot to shift up. So I kept hitting in the neutral. It was pissing me off quite a bit. So I felt like the heel toe was a must. That was probably the first thing I did actually.
Cool.
Was the heel toe shifter.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah, it's not much. It's my, is definitely my shit bike, I call it. All my mistakes and, you know, whenever I feel like being lazy, I kind of.
You're learning and having fun and you use it. That's what I love about it. It gets you.
Yeah.
So,
I ride the absolute piss out of this thing. I drop it for fun. So
nice.
it definitely takes quite the beating and I love it. Yeah, it's a great bike, fantastic bike.
Great.
So,
well, why don't we roll it out and Mike will back yours in here.
alrighty. Sweet.
Very good. Okay, Mike, what is this?
Okay, so this is my 2004 VLX 600 Honda Shadow. If you ever watch like Lane Slip Boulevard on YouTube or like Unaffiliated, like this is like I was watching those videos in like 2018, like holy crap, I need a Honda Shadow 600, man. And yeah, I got it in Quebec. Me and my dad went 2 nights. I slept in the back of like a little car trailer. He slept in the car because he snored like crazy.
Right.
And we picked this bike up. I only bought it because it was a 600 and it had, not this tank, but a different peanut tank on it. It had a Harley one on it. And I was like, okay, I'm coming to get it right now. And it's pretty cheap too. It was like, yeah. Oh,
all right,
really
so the tank.
Yeah, so this is just a TJ Brutal Custom.
Okay.
Tank. But I guess I'll start from the front just to,
Sure.
you know, so I don't
let's do that.
So front wheels a 19-inch just stock Honda Shadow wheel, and then I got Pirelli roots for the wheel. I went to the dealership and I was like, man, I need the biggest tires that I can fit on these bikes. Like, give me some meaty, like fat, meaty tire big walls. And the guy gave me these, so I was pretty happy. Cool. I got 6-over Forks gun by Forks by Frank, and then I got what Jeff has, the 6-inch extension.
Oh, really?
There as well. That's all inside this sleeve. Okay. I got this bike last year looked like a lot different. It was black, and you know, I got in an accident, and the first thing that broke was my whole front end because I had what he has, and that's what gave. Like I got in a crash, and that gave. So I was like, I need some sleeve. Like if I'm doing it again, I need some sleeve there just to together, right?
So this is a total
12 over.
Total 12 over. Wow.
I had to get this. So this part right here, the clamp, that's actually a bottom
fork brace. Yeah.
The fork brace. That's actually a bottom triple tree that I just cut out and then slid it down there just to make it, you know. Before I had it, I would turn like the wheel and the handlebars going 2 different ways. So I was like, I need something more stable.
There's a lot of things that can move up there, right? Everything, yeah.
Especially with the length too. Like I had six overs before my accident, like just 6 over stock, and yeah, it was like you didn't feel that at all. But once I added that extra 6 inches, it was like a whole different level of torque. And I got 4-inch TJ Brutal custom risers, and then I got 14-inch. I think my girlfriend bought me these for Christmas, but I think 14-inch ape hangers. These I won actually at the last Freedom Machine. I put my ticket into the Perth County Moto booth,
right?
And I completely forgot about it. I went out to take a piss. This is after I met these guys. I went out to take a piss, and I keep hearing, Michael, come to the front, come to Perth County booth. And I was like, there has to be 100 other Michaels here. And then I think he kept going. They're like, last call, you got 2 minutes to get here. And I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna go and see if it's me. And it was me, and I won. This is like $1,000. Like,
right.
Well, I actually have the other one.
The old one because my accident.
Because his accident messed it up, and of course, I got the hand-me-down bike.
There you go.
So I got it for free. I was loving it.
And his stock rake is just extended 12 inches. I got I'm a pretty tall guy, like not overly tall, but I'm pretty tall for this bike, so I just kind of made it longer for myself. So I got the extended foot controls, and then I got these BMX style kind of shifters.
Yeah.
Just to, you know, have it look pretty badass. My horn, I just got like a little bicycle horn that like you squeeze the end of it.
Yeah.
So that's my horn. The cops love that one. And then,
there are things we do just so we can say it's there and it's functional, right?
Yeah. The tank is a TJ Brutal custom you know, like it's like they make Harley style tanks for bikes. So me and Andy got them. Rob 905 Rob got them too. The seat, that's the drag specialty seat. I think it is, and then the passenger seat is just like one that kind of matches up to it. So
yeah, it looks great. It works out really well.
The pipes, I got okay, I'll start with the pipes. I got the pipes, I made those out of just like leftover exhaust parts. And I did a 2-to-1 with like a little expansion chamber and then the fishtail.
Yeah.
So it sounds pretty mean.
That's cool.
It kind of sounds, we kind of laugh at how our bikes sound, but yeah, it's fun. And then the sissy bar is just a TC Bros sissy bar, the long one, and then the rear fender is from an old, I think it's from an old Softail or something.
Yep.
But I just got that at swap meet for like $10. My electrical tank, a lot of people buy like the full metal TJ Burrow custom ones, but I just took some PVC pipe and some caps and bolted it on there. It's like,
nice.
You know, it still works.
Yeah.
My coolant overflow is just like another TJ Brutal custom. I was working
that's right. You guys have to worry about coolant, don't you?
Yeah, you do. I'm air cool.
Yeah, you're air cool.
I like that.
I was working at Toyota, like factory at the time when I was building this. Like the first time I was building this, so I just like splurged on like TJ Brutal customs. Every time I got a paycheck, I was like, okay, I get one thing from there. But yeah, it's a pretty fun bike. It's not as fast as I'd like it to be, but that's why I got the 750 Ace coming. Yep. That one is like, you know, we'll at least keep up with Andy, because he can just pin it.
Yeah.
But you know, these bikes, this style of bike, and we've talked about this a lot, it's really not about going super fast. Yeah. It's not the sport bike thing. It's more about, you know, it's more about you in the bike, you know, your ideas, your thoughts. It's more about carving and cruising and just sort of a comfort and a real personal connection with the bike.
Oh yeah, absolutely. This bike is like my I don't know, I love it.
It's our pride and joy.
Well, and I personally feel these are probably the safest bikes on the road, because the guy who's riding it is not trying to set land speed records or impress anybody. And once you put this much time into something, the last thing you want to do is drop.
Yeah, you don't want to ruin it.
When I crashed this bike 2 years ago, I didn't even care that my leg was broken, that I was covered in road rash. I was like so distraught that I thought because the front end was like the ports were twisted, and I was like convinced that my neck was bent too. And I was like, I put all this time in this bike, and I get out. And it's not even my fault that I got in an accident, so well done. But then
you healed up okay?
Oh yeah, I'm fine. My leg's okay. That was last summer, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, you and Andy both had their accidents last summer.
I broke my leg, and then 2 weeks later, you fell.
I think that was in June, wasn't it?
Yeah.
June was a terrible month. Yeah.
Better June this year.
Yeah. Nothing yet this year. Cross our fingers, you know, and things are going well so far. So.
But I got when I crashed my bike, I got a month and a half off work, and every day I was just like working on this thing, trying to, you know, it's a little ratty again, but when I finished it, it's like, it was like really nice and clean. I was like, man, I'm proud of this bike now, because I had this old black ratty Mad Max looking thing, and then these guys started showing up. Jeff's bike was like super pretty in chrome, and then Andy built his bike all pretty in chrome. And I was like, I can't. You know, I started this thing, and I can't have the ugliest bike. So, you know.
It's all about personality, man.
Oh yeah,
that's what this entire thing is.
Yeah.
Anything else?
I did the hardtail. It's kind of like a half hardtail where I keep the bottom part of the swing arm. And
okay.
and then I just rejoined the top, so it's dropped down like 2 or 3 inches in the back, and then raised up 12 in the front. And it's just like really stretched out while you ride.
Yeah. No, it looks great. Good job, you guys. Yeah.
Thank you so much for having us on.
Hey, no worries.
Yeah, this is awesome, man.
Thanks for being here.
I mean, just sit around talking about bikes all day. Yeah. It's good weekend. Good weekend, man.
Not a bad day at all.
No, it's vacation.
Very good, you guys. Okay, I'm going to get some shots before I leave, just, you know, of certain items and some B-roll stuff. Speed and Color podcast, Tubecast. We are on all the podcast platforms. We're on Instagram and we are on YouTube. And we appreciate you. I would appreciate it if you would subscribe, follow, like, comment. Hey, if you got questions for these guys, put them in the comments section. I'll correspond with these guys and we'll get you some answers. That's it from the Bad Livin Roadshow. Thank you for being here. We will see you soon.
Woo. Thank you.
Awesome, man.
Man, that was awesome.
Oh, yeah.